Final expense telesales can seem scary when you first start, and sometimes it's just because you didn't know these 4 tips that I'm going to share with you so that you can master final expense telesales. It's so important that you know this before you jump into it because I get it. The business looks a little scary, but sometimes people make it seem easier than what it truthfully is. The business is simple, but it is far from easy. So, we're going to give you these 4 tips so that you don't fall for some of the things out in the industry that can really hurt you because final expense telesales gives you freedom like maybe you've never been able to experience, but it does require work, it requires effort, and a couple things that we're going to drop to you today. So before I go into this content, my name is Jason. I'm your friend in the business, and I'm so blessed to recruit and partner with amazing insurance agents that align here together to sell life, Medicare, and annuities face to face, but more importantly, in the telespace. So, free resources for your taking at jasonfinalexpense.com. And let's dive right into how to really handle your newfound career because this is not a job. And if you treat it like a job, your clients are going to feel like you're treating it like a job. You've got to have this be your career, your calling, your real purpose. So, if you're taking notes, number one, get yourself a mirror. A mirror is almost magical for final expense telesales agents because you've got to take the time to look into your countenance. When you're making all these calls, sometimes we can look a little sour up in the face, and your clients are going to find that you don't resonate with them. And it's so important that you're on that wavelength with them if you want to make this business work. And not everybody's going to like the sound of your voice. I don't even like my own voice, right? So when you're focusing on final expense telesales, specifically your script, you need to look yourself in the mirror to be able to fix this so that you can really get your tonality right and focus. And you've got to also not only look yourself in the mirror, but mirror back what you hear your clients saying, which is called active listening. It's actually a pretty big part of final expense telesales success journeys is knowing how to mirror back what the client is saying. So be prepared to use your mirror, but also be prepared to actively mirror what your client wants you, more importantly, to do for them. Sometimes people think final expense telesales script is just talk, 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 sell, sell, sell. Nobody likes that. It leaves a sour taste in our consumer's mouth. So you've got to make sure that you're ready to execute with your script. So number one, just get a mirror. And then number two, if you're taking notes, you need to have a script that you really spend the time to dive into it. All right. The script here isn't just words we say. It's so important that you focus on that because a lot of agents just go for the check, go for the check, just like you're going for the jugular. That's not the way to be successful in final expense telesales. Take the time to train with your script, not just reading it at the consumer, but you've got to be sincere in how your delivery comes across that phone. If you want even a chance to finding success, structure is important. Just like with a home, a really good house has really good bones, right? Your script should be structured appropriately so that your clients at the end know how to take action with you as their partner, their ally. So structure is important. You've got to be assertive without being pushy. Fine line here, right? But you've got to be sincere with your script and you've got to spend the time. And I'm talking hours of time, not 5, 10 minutes, like some people are told. And then they buy their leads and the business doesn't work out. I'm talking about spending hours with your script so that you are so comfortable with your script that it's truly a part of you. You've got to practice until it's a piece of you so that when you pick up that phone, you sound genuine because you are genuine. You're in this as a career, you're in this as a calling. And you got to be in a place where you don't call it quits. Mental mindset is massive, but number one, that mirror is big. Look yourself into that okay, mirror and go, you know what? I've got what it takes today. And now focus on your script. Focus on your script before you get on the phones because it's going to be punishing regardless, right? You want to put on your best performance, just like a Romeo and Juliet play. You've got to be prepared. You got to be polished, but you're not going to be perfect, my friends. I've done this over 2+ decades, the insurance world, with my telesales background. And let me tell you, I'm still far from perfect. So don't feel like you have to be perfect before you touch the phone. You just need to be extremely prepared And now you're just going to be ready. And the business normally works out when you keep working your leads. But number three, if you've mastered your script with number two, is you've got to spend money on your leads. You've got to just kind of put your money, you've heard the term put your money where your mouth is. You want to make it in final expense telesales. You've got to believe enough in yourself to buy leads. And belief is the backbone of this very simple business. But final expense telesales training is not easy, right? It's not fun to focus on your script, or the rebuttals is where the real magic is as well. But you've got to be prepared. We go through a 5-day telemastery program here, but spending money on leads is so important to you launching forward. Leads are the lifeblood of this business, but just having leads is not going to help you launch. Number four, you've got to put in the work. This business is so stinking simple. Spend time on the phones if you want the chance for profitability. The chance, not the guarantee, right? This is a performance-based business. But if you've got a mirror, if you've scripted, if you've got your objection handling right and you're prepared, well, you know what? Be assertive, be powerful as their partner to take care of the problem. It's not just the product, it's the problem that your product will solve. So spend money on your leads with number three. And then really number four, put in the work. And then once the business works and you get your first sale, hopefully, don't stop. A lot of brand new final expense telesales agents make the mistake that when they get their first sale, they think they've arrived. In this business, we go from being that hero to a zero in 2 seconds. Once you've made that sale, stay on task, stay on the phone. It's powerful momentum as you navigate forward in your newfound career, but spend time on your training so that you can translate a very simple business into hopefully success, because 90% of the agent force kind of gets hoodwinked into this space thinking that the business is super easy and all you got to do is read words on a paper and somehow you're going to make powerful annual premium and revenue. Not so much. It's not easy to stay engaged. It's not easy sometimes to put the work in. We want it, but we've got to have our work ethic be in alignment with what we say we desire. And then some days you're just going to get kicked in the teeth. Happens, right? And then the next day, boy, there's nothing better if you get that sale. Focus on success. Focus where you're going. Look out that windshield and don't lick your wounds when maybe a call doesn't go the best. You got to be careful of keeping the caustic things away from you, because this business is insanely negative and you've got to not let that negativity seep into the next phone call. You've got to stay positive. You've got to stay powerful if you want a chance of making profitability. So I hope this video helps you, but it's simple. Buy leads, put your best foot forward, help clients find solutions, spend money on leads, and then you know what? Put in the work. And those that do the work, well, they normally find out the business works out a lot easier for them. Very simple. AI isn't going to do it for you in final expense telesales. Your XYZ CRM isn't going to make you more cash flow. It's just more calls, more calls, more calls, powerful persistence, and never call it quits. If we can do anything to serve you, let us know. JasonFinalExpense.com. We'd love to help. But remember, you've got what it takes. We'll see you soon.